Welcome back to Two Riders. Today we're going to do a classic. It's one of the old ones. I'm almost through all these old ones. This is a 2006, 132nd day, 2006. Menu 4, cheese and veggie omelet, also known as the Vomelet. We tested a 2007 last year when it was 15 years old. This is 17 years old. That's a little scary. There's also a little bit of damage on the package, on the outer part of the package. But we're going to open this up and give it a try. I want to thank everybody who's watched and everybody who's subscribed. Just went over 200 subscribers last night. I really appreciate that. So right after the intro, we'll get started. So welcome back, and we're going to go ahead. It's got a peelable seal. I'm going to give it a little bit of a try, but hey, look at that. It actually opened. That's pretty amazing. Well, it's sort of ripping. Yeah. All right, peelable seal open. And inside, everything is single bagged. So let's take a look what we've got. And here is the little bit of damage. There's some little holes. I don't know. It doesn't look like a rodent's been chewing on it. I don't know if it was thumbtacks, what the issue was. And we've got shredded potatoes with bacon. And what are we looking at here? Let's see if you know what? It's nice and tight. It's not swollen. That's a good sign. And what is our date? Okay, 2006, the 96th day. Right now is early May, so we've had all of January, February, March, April, about 120 days. This is definitely a full 17 years old right there. And okay, so the majority of it's double bagged actually. That's fine. Sort of belt cutting knife blade. This is a Victorinox, kind of a handy knife and multi-tool actually. Let's see what we got. All right, here it is. Amazingly, 6/118. So we're a full 17 years old. This baby would be a junior in high school were a human. And okay, I got to tell you, last year we opened up one that was a year newer than this, and it was not in this good a shape. It was starting to delaminate. Of course, that may be after I put it in the hot water because the flameless ration heater didn't want to work. But 118th day looks good for that age. I'm surprised. This should be our scone, cinnamon scone. The 2007 also came with a toaster pastry, but it was not in good shape. So, this has got a toaster pastry too. Frosted brown sugar. Doesn't feel bad. Doesn't feel broken. Spiced apple cider, and I've got some hot water on the stove. I do like the apple cider. This one, surprise, surprise, the Tabasco is still liquid. Last year it was a dried up brown mess. This is a very encouraging sign. Got our TP. Got a moist towelette. Got some salt that's going to go into the flameless ration heater to try to activate it. Green matches. Spiced cider. Feels pretty good. A little hard, but packed in there pretty tight. The gum, my son cracked a tooth on some really ancient gum last year. Don't know if I'm doing the gum. And the crackers, well, they're what they are. We'll see how they held up the 100th day. blackberry jam, surprisingly. Very moist feeling. No lumpiness, no weirdness. Man, this might turn out all right. Nice spoon. And from Tritech up in Riverhead, New York, we got our flameless ration heater. So we're gonna, in our hot beverage bag. So we're gonna start off by opening this up. What happened to our salts? We're going to take about a half a package of salt and put in there. See if we can get a chemical reaction going. This stuff has been sleeping for a long time. So, and here's our cheese omelet. Oh. All right, we got that baby in there. Put in a little bit of water. You never really want to overfill these. It's real easy to do. And we're up to the recommended depth. That salt is dissolving in the water. Sometimes these take a little while. I do have water in a pot heating up as backup because this guy's old. We'll give it a try. And if it doesn't get going, I'm going to throw it in the pot and we'll be back here in a minute to get started on some of the other goodies. So after waiting about 5 minutes, the flameless ration heater actually warmed up pretty nicely. I put the meals in a pot of hot water, and after about 3 or 4 minutes, it hadn't done much. But we're going to give it a try. In the meantime, let's go ahead and look at the rest of what we put out on a tray. Here we've got some raspberry-based drink. It's always good. Color's nice and artificial red, that's fine. Smells pretty good. Sometimes these older ones take a little while for everything to dissolve, so I'm not going to go into drinking it immediately. It's dissolving. So here we go. Toaster pastry. It's a nice old Pop-Tart. Frosted brown sugar. Smells like brown sugar, and that's encouraging. Not anything scary or weird. Nothing tingling on my tongue. The fat. See what kind of fat they got in here. Fat's tasting a little bit old, but not any sort of dangerous way. 17 years is a very long time, and that thing, last year on one of our videos we did, I had some like a strawberry filled pastry, and it was as brown as that. So I'm feeling okay about that. Now our drink. Raspberry drink is almost a surefire bet that it was going to be good, and it is. This really is not bad. Quite edible. We've had the cinnamon scones in the past, and they are usually very nice. Gotta say, it doesn't have a much of a smell of cinnamon. It smells a little stale. Color looks okay. Tastes old, like it's lost a step, but again, it does not taste like it's gone bad. All right, 2 for 2. Check out the crackers. Now I'm going to give them a little extra room because they tend to be a little brittle. Look at that. Those things look perfect. And they look perfect. There's nothing weird. They got a little shine to them. They do pass the smell test. So their condiment is this blackberry jam from Stone Mountain, Georgia. I'm just going to use the knife to cut off a kind of a small cut so that I can control the flow of this. It's looking a little. Looked a little suspect, but the tip of the tongue test. Oh, look at that! I mean, 3- and 4-year-old crackers don't break that well. That's awesome. This must have been back in the days when there was still some trans fat. So here we go. I don't know if the lighting in here is good for you or on whatever device you're watching this, but it looks like blackberry jam. There's nothing weird about it. Flavor's okay. I can't believe how crunchy that cracker is for its advanced age. This has held up so much better than the 2007. My expectations based on the 2007 were not high. This whole meal is edible so far. The wild card, of course, is going to be the stuff that's in the flameless ration heater. Crackers are fine. Pretty tasty. If you saw the shirt I had with the two riders patch, this is from Vomelet, a Finnish surplus company. Great company, great products. They do a fantastic job of sizing their products into both European and American sizes. They tell you these run large, these run small. Take their word for it. This is a 1975 Austrian field shirt. This particular one was manufactured in 1995, and I also got the two riders name tag, custom done at Vomelet. So just want to give a shout out to them. They've got great surplus. I've got a Czech cook kit that we're going to be using out on one of the Coleman stoves here shortly. Cracker's good. I'm going to pause this and let the mains heat up a little bit, and I'm going to work on some of this because dang surprising that a 17-year-old Pop-Tart's still edible. Here we go with the mains. These first went into flameless ration heater, and it's somewhat warm on a couple of the cells. I didn't expect a lot. It actually got warmer than I thought, but after several minutes it was apparent that these weren't going to get hot enough to eat, and you want it to be in the best shape possible when you eat something this old. I was optimistic with this, but I'm also optimistic to be eating 17-year-old food. So they went into hot water. They are warm to the touch now, and if you'll look at this, you might be able to see that it is listed as hash browns with bacon, and then here it's shredded potatoes with bacon. And I would go with this because hash browns imply that they've been browned and cooked like in a pan, and typically these do not look that way. These things are slippery as can be right now, so I'm going to use the knife to open them up rather than just trying to do the tear tab. So here come our shredded potatoes, and looks very similar to the ones we've had of this vintage. Smells like you got some, I don't know, it smells like there's peppers in there. Water, potatoes, bacon, and one of these times I can say it right, dehydrated green peppers, and you can smell the green peppers. So here we are. They are very edible. Got our spice cider. Stir this up before I get the spoon all greasy from the mains. This was always a great addition, I think, to any of these meals. And in this case, you can see it's held up for a heck of a long time. You've got nice little bits of bacon in there with it. Here's the green pepper. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with this. Salty, the way that this sort of dish is normally going to be. And in the field, if you're not putting your salt on your main, having salt in a situation where you're going to be doing a lot of sweating, it's a good way to keep your electrolytes up to where you need them. Now this guy, typically this thing is going to drop out of here looking like a newborn puppy in a whelping box. And a little wet. That's real wet. The bag smells a little funny. Typical sponginess that you expect on the omelet. There's usually a little bit of a cheese flavor. Well, that is a little off-putting. I don't taste the cheese like normal, and it's not making my tongue numb, but I'm not really wanting to throw that down into my digestive tract today. Say the smell's a little different than normal. The bag was not swollen. Everything looked good there. But I expected a little bit of cheesy goodness maybe. And I'm just not getting it out of this. Try one more bite. It's a little bit worrisome. I think I'm going to play it safe and steer clear. My wife's cheering in the background. I think she doesn't want to drive me to urgent care tonight, get my stomach pumped or some sort of antibiotic. So here we go. One more bite of the our jam, our blackberry jam. These crackers held up better than any MRE crackers I think I've ever opened before, especially for this age. And that's probably because they still have trans fat. The scone, it's edible, but it's not lovable. Not great. The Pop-Tart toaster pastry, absolutely fine. And the potatoes, pretty good. And the spiced cider, good, as always. So there you have it. 2006. I think it's just a little past its prime. So, thanks for tuning in. We've got more stuff on the way. And so if you like it, hit like. If you want to subscribe to get notifications when these come out, please do that. And thanks again for watching.